Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. This is the Auzom Premier League Lobby Red. We're in game 3 of 4. I'm JoRoSaR, joined by Talha, and we have TheYungMyth observing this evening, showing us the Cirque du Soleil acrobatics across the bridge by the looks of things. And we are about to get started in game 3. Possibly not the winners we expected from game 1 and 2, but it's nice to see AVANGAR up there. GamersOrigin have certainly been in the mix. Millennium are very threatening, and Kinguin, Talha, haven't quite got the results they were looking for, have they?
They've been doing well in terms of the rotations, but it's the rotations later on into the game when it really counts, because teams don't die really quickly in these competitive matches. They die towards the 5th or 6th circle into the game, and that's where Kinguin are finding themselves in the hardest part to rotate and get into the circles at that point and winning the fights that they are up against.
So if you're them, is there anything particular you want to do to switch it up at this point to try and stop the run?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say better aim, but because I'm not them, we're not actually paying attention to their aim. I think their aim is absolutely fine. I would like to say that they need to, because we have seen them in both the games, get into the circle as fast as possible. We saw that in the previous game when the circle was north. They sent 2 of their players straight in to scout it out and get their, make sure it's safe. While
That's
the other
right,
team
yeah, they got in there quite early.
So they are going to the circle early. I just think that their choice of where they're going in the circle is just it's just a bit off. I think that's the only difference.
Well, let's pay attention to that in this particular game and see if we notice any improvement from them there, because they've been playing really well, but like you say, they're not quite getting those top results that they're necessarily looking for. And we have a very interesting playing path. It kind of went from about 5 o'clock to 12 o'clock here. So again, we'll have a couple of teams in Severny. It looks like G2 are going to be going North George / no, probably not Zaki from that point, realistically. But look who else is going there. Kinguin might end up joining them.
Looking at basically where all the teams are going again, you've got Action is coming, trying to make their way back again to the northeastern side of Stalba. Basically, when you start playing with the same teams, you kind of understand where they like going, and you stay away from that area. We can see G2 again going towards Georgia Pop, and also AVANGAR going towards North Georgia Pop. Is G2 actually thinking about going to Zaki?
No, I thought so, but they were kind of pointed towards North George with the parachutes on the way down. I think they're going North George, but Velen is possibly going into the shelter and then coming back out. That would make sense to me. Kinguin looking like they're going Georgia, actually very close to Crates, and Mumino very early on grabbing himself a car and deciding to head on over here. Oh, that's slightly awkward, unfortunately. Unactive AVANGAR getting an early kill onto Miraku. That's going to be, I mean, very happy times for them. Of course, a very big rival there, an extremely strong player, and sadly not being able to be in the right place at the right time there, getting run over by the buggy.
He just landed his parachute as well, which is quite unfortunate. You're just like, man's got his hand tied behind his back and you're throwing punches at his face. And again, we have another circle that's going to basically force everyone to make their way across.
Oh man, G2 must be thinking for the 2nd game in a row, what do we have to do? Now, the good news is they'll have quite a lot of in North George, and Velen has also got a vehicle, because North Georgia is not known for its abundance of vehicles, right? So the fact that Velen's already got a car and is driving towards them is useful. They should be able to loot and get away in peace. Kinguin, in the meantime, wow, actually going past in a boat towards Georgiable Crates. They're getting a couple of shots put at them by Lumber Mill, but they will be able to survive for now. That's No Loot Gaming, actually, pardon me, who's in the water off of Severny. Oh dear, he's actually trapped. Jansen. Not again, Jansen.
Why did he land in the water? He definitely doesn't have a gun.
No, he can't have landed in the water. He must have landed in a house in one of the outskirts of Severny and then ran into the water when someone else got a gun. That's the only thing I can think of. But he's certainly not coming out of there anytime soon. That's
it's wasting time. And speaking about time being wasted as well, Havu Gaming got their vehicles and they've just made their way to Primorsk in the bottom left. As you can see, I don't really mind, is the last one to go down. And in fact, Kini Model's gone down. Excuse me, guys. No other team there. Okay, sorry, Jorski went down. But they
press F to pay respects.
Of course, light your candle.
I don't know. Yeah.
They're only going to start looting up, and they have 3 minutes on the clock before the circle starts moving in, and then 5 minutes till that circle reaches. So they have lost a lot of valuable time, but it might be the high risk because you don't have another team that is contesting you for the loot at all, especially with the competitive settings of the 1.5 times AR or 2 times AR that some people like to play with. So there is, without a doubt, they're all going to get their ARs, armor, and meds.
So the potential hot fight that's going to take place as people come into the circle is probably going to be from JoRoSaR, because we have G2, we have AVANGAR, and we have Kinguin all in very close proximity to each other. And they're all going to have to move at different times. G2 are going to want to be the last guys out, obviously, so they don't get shut out when they come out. But imagine if they end up in an early game engagement. They must know there are other teams there, and ideally they want to kind of leave each other alone until we get to a point where they can safely move to the circle. So that has the potential to explode, and if it does, it's going to be some great fireworks.
Indeed, well, it'll be really interesting to see how all of these teams actually leave, what direction they take to get out of JoRoSaR, because if they go the same direction, they're all if they go where Onu is going right now,
yep,
they're simply just going to run into all the teams that are, you know, camping the bridges and stuff. Wookie Bookie.
Wookie and Jansen are having a lot. You know, if I was Jansen right now, you know what I would do? Swim up to next to the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, this is funny.
What?
Non-stop. I mean, Wookie's just being mean at this point.
It's like the guy doesn't have a gun.
Get in the boat.
He doesn't have a gun. He's not a threat to you. Let him be.
It's like, I want this kill. I got this. This kill is mine.
Okay, let's have a look at this. You've got 29. Okay, so we don't know how much ammo he has.
But
he has a level 1 vest, no helmet on Wookie Bookie. He's got 1 med kit and about 5 bandages, right, and 2 painkillers. He hasn't looted anything, and he's wasting time.
We'll keep an eye out for that in the kill feed. By the way, I don't think anyone is going to be getting this crate. This crate is landing in the water off the eastern coast of Milta Power, but the problem is it's landing in the water off of cliffs. So if you loot this, either you are... someone might loot it if they're in a boat, but they certainly wouldn't jump off the cliffs to get there because the route to getting back hurts, and that is an AUG with a ghillie suit that we have inside there. So very, very tasty loot on offer, but at the same time, very difficult place for people to get to and get back without... Did I just see a boat right itself like a UAZ? I think I did.
It's the boat that Wookie's on. So that exploded.
I definitely did. Well, it's about time he came back to shore. I mean, that was a little bit of a fruitless endeavor going out to attack Jansen. Poor Jansen.
He's still looking. He's still looking in the direction of Jansen.
I would be spamming the Fs in chat for Jansen right now. I feel sorry for him, man. Like, what else can you do? It's like he's doing everything he can now that he's in that situation. He's saying, please leave me alone.
You know, we talk about it right now, but Jansen's going to come back.
Jansen is not going to be the last surviving player in this game, Talha. I will stake my cast a curse on that right now.
Okay, there we go.
I'm okay with that. Like, I feel comfortable making that prediction.
There we go. Look at JoRoSaR here. We can see the teams actually moving out. G2 going to be the first people to move after 2 members of AVANGAR have actually moved. They're already in the center of the circle, and they're being shot at quite a bit. Damien.
Millennium is between Kinguin and Dignitas here, so they're not having fun, but they have got the warehouse in the middle at the very least. We're now looking at No Loot Gaming, pardon me, so they're going to be on one side. G-Thang taking aim at Millennium, and on the other side, there's Reese and Co, so that is Team Dignitas. So a tricky place for them to be, but don't forget, they don't have to move.
Of course. AVANGAR, Onu and... Co are center circle as much as they can. They've just kind of got the compound as in the center, and they're like, right, we've got it first. So that means that Mamino and Co can actually get in, not safely, but they know that there is a safe place in the circle waiting for them as they go. Moleman taking some shots onto Kissei. Everyone just trying to get the early kills, early damage off, and Kinguin are gonna make their way into the circle through the south, so not going the same way as G2.
As predicted, no one actually going for the crate off the coast at the moment, so that AUG is probably not going to get taken. GamersOrigin, by the way, are still in military bases. We see Keezus trying to get it down. That action is coming with Riddle Esports moving on through. It doesn't look like anyone's going... Oh, and Riddle actually stopping at the compound, so Keezus is potentially going into a very, very spicy situation here. He's got an AK. He's got... Oh, and he's been spotted very early on indeed, so I think that's going to be that. That's Kisser. And there is no way he's going to be able to sneak up on this compound 1v team and feel confident about that. And there goes Spoof. This is not ideal for Riddle Esports. They are the winners, by the way, of game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. They've been playing very, very well indeed. But in this particular game, they're struggle bearing it just a little bit. Still all 14 teams alive, but they're taking a bit of damage, and they've got one down.
Ghost taking out one of the members of Team 14 Riddle Esports, and Kaint, completely other separate team, just chilling next to him. Gonna see if he can do anything. Team 3, so that's Lumber Mill. The rest of his team is still in Severny. They're getting into vehicles, making their way down. G2 making their way from north. Yasnaya Janssen has made his way onto the land, as you can see on the north there. He's going to start looting up. But back between the fight between Kizis and Riddle Esports. It's not a fun fight.
Yeah, action is coming. Now, the rest of the team now joining them against Riddle Esports, and they are not having fun right now, are they? Action is coming once the compound, but they can't get it, and it almost feels like they've decided they're stuck there, so they're going to try and fight it from the wall and see if they get one or two kills. It's challenging for them to do that. The only good news is that for can you imagine Riddle Esports managing to get a frag just the other side of that wall? That would require some superb upward aiming to nail that, and you have to hold on to the frag grenade for just long enough that it just passes the wall when it explodes. So at least the wall is good cover. But what's the plan from here? How do you get into the compound and win against a full squad that's already depleting you of your meds? This is a very difficult situation.
The only way that I can see this working out action is coming. Meanwhile, Keen taking down Larson really low. But as we can go back here, yeah, the only way I can see this working out is because all the entrances that they have to get into this compound leaves them exposed by windows that, you know, Riddle Esports have got completely covered, as we can see. So they're just waiting. They're trying to get all the angles out. They're waiting for them to pop up their heads from the window and see if they can get one person down at least. If they can minimize the amount of players that are shooting at them, they can make a push. But that doesn't matter anymore, because Riddle Esports like, you know what, we've done the damage, we're going to get out of here while we still have a chance.
They were actually doing, they were doing a reasonable job. It was Action is Coming that was having to revive people and use their meds, but Riddle deciding that they don't want to have to deal with this situation long term. They don't want to risk losing some of their meds. Maybe they want to save them for later on. Let's go somewhere a bit quieter. And Wookie is going to get shot out of the vehicle, unfortunately. There's no chance he's getting back up because the rest of his team are not with him. They've decided, unfortunately, Gustav is going to keep driving on. And,
good.
Sneaky, sneaky. I mean, to be fair, if you end up killing him, you go to the crate and there are no guns at all.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to look around. No, you will look around, but, I mean...
What you want to do is keep... You want to keep one gun with one mag of ammo. That's what you want to do.
So, it's going to be very hard for them to actually get any of that loot there.
Mind games.
Dropping on his meds and everything. Very, very, very good, you know... 100 IQ players. Is 100 IQ good?
I mean, 200's better. If you gave me a free choice, I'd pick 200 over 100, if that's what you're asking.
No, but I just forget, like, what is the, like, normal, like, the lowest amount of IQ that human beings have?
I believe, and don't at some point, I'm not certain it's true based on today's statistics, but at one point, 100 was supposed to be, like, a national average. When it
national average, okay.
At some point, or a national or some sort of world average was the idea behind it at one point. Obviously, these statistics change over time, but that was the original thing. So a 200 IQ play, and I think 100 and I want to say 150 or 160 is on paper considered a genius.
Okay, I would say that's about 120 IQ playing. If we're going to be.
It's more like 118.
You know.
Yeah. So Riddle getting the heck out of dodge there. Wookie unfortunately going down, but like you say, with the IQ plays to go along with it, we can decide on a number later on. And JoRoSaR going down very early on. Gustav with an excellent bit of attacking with the AK, trying to get him before they're in position to come up the stairs.
Defending the stairs as much as he can. The misinformation was given that Kaint was in that building next to one of the members of Action is Coming.
What a frag!
A sick name. That's going to give them the time to move and push up into the building. And look at this rush coming up by every single player. Don't get stuck on the stairs, boys.
Hold a frag. Yep, that's a frag. I can hear it. Are we going to pull one? No, he's actually jumping outside. But it's not quite enough. Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. Gustav and Kaint going down, and we are down to 13 teams here in game number 3.
Jesus absolutely read that situation, was holding them behind just for that one play. It was a really good idea coming out from Kaint, but it wasn't executed properly. Now, Havu Gaming have made their way into the circle after a long and treacherous journey from Primorsk. That is the word that I'm looking for. Primorsk, and they are up against Team 16, Molman, Rafi, and London. Trying to see if you can get any sort of hits.
That's potentially a good nade. I think this one's slightly short, but Molman did have to get out of dodge there. He would have taken some damage. And this nade war is going to be rather interesting. I wonder if a nade gets stuck in a tree. But it doesn't look like it on this occasion anyways. Bikini Model does get taken down. He's down but not out though at the moment. You can see Molman actually trying to flank to see if he can finish him off. He's got no helmet and he's going to have to heal up behind the tree. So Havu have a nice position on top of the hill to try and prevent them from moving in. And they've still got their helmets intact as well. So Molman in a bit of a tricky situation there. And Bikini Model will go down. So that gives them the man advantage. But can they make it count? Can they try and finish the rest of the squad?
This doesn't look good for JoRoSaR. He's been shot by 2 different squads on either side. He does get taken down to half HP as well. And he has to get out of his vehicle because it blows up. And he is just slightly split from the rest of his team. And not looking good on the health situation. Level 1 armor as well. That's not going to do much against 556.
Or just, you know, bullets in general. Wow, the door gets completely taken out. So it looks like they need a little bit of a breeze by the looks of things. And that would be Team Redzone having a peek in at Havu going, "Hi, boys. How's it going?" Let's see if we can get a couple of shots off there. Havu returning a bit of fire, but I think that's against GamersOrigin. So multiple squads in here. And Havu, if they're not careful and they start picking 2 or 3 fights at once, they could find themselves in a tricky situation, as Ensolenso just found out.
Getting shot by GamersOrigin. Not the best option there for them, but they do want to try and save Private JoRoSaR and Fellas. It's just taken 3 shots and they've all hit the... Yeah,
you know what I want to know in this circle, and I think this is very important considering the context of the game. Where's Team 9, Outsider and Co? Okay, so they're pretty close to Millennium, so they're towards the middle of the circle. But I want Team number 9 here. Is Jansen alive?
Middle, right in the middle of the circle.
Purple, middle of the circle, purple. Sorry, we're gonna help Myth here. Top right, there we go. Is Jansen there? Jansen's there. He's alive, ladies and gentlemen. Has he got a gun? If he doesn't have a gun, of course he does. But if he doesn't have a gun, that would be hilarious. Jansen is alive. Wait, where's Jansen?
He's to your left. He's in the shed. No, there he is. He's
oh my god!
He's gonna make it.
No, he has got 2 guns. He has got 2 guns. Just for a second, when I saw him running, I thought he must have a gun by now.
He doesn't have any meds though. It's I love this interface. He doesn't have any meds. That's the only problem. So he's not gonna be able to med up if he gets in.
Oh, Jansen.
And the first is quite far away. So let's see what he can do.
Very nice vehicle kill there. London managing to get the headshot, by the way, out of the vehicle on Falcuma. And he's going to go down very quickly indeed. There might actually be an opportunity to loot there. He's just looking to see if there are any other teams who might benefit and from him getting out from behind cover. They spot GamersOrigin. They're reasonably far away, over 100 meters. So someone is going to be able to get to that crate if they are interested in it. And now we have Team Random moving steadily closer to Geo here, trying to find a good angle on them. They need to... Oh!
That is an amazing flank.
Unconspicuous, your flank mate. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite spot that in time. And a couple of clean shots to the body will take him down.
Indeed. Now the remaining members of GamersOrigin are just stuck in a fight with Havu, while Team Redzone are making their way into the lumber mill.
Oh, Havu just ran over Ensolenso. Well, that's awkward.
Did he get out of the car too fast? I think he did.
I don't know, but that's a team kill from Havu. That hopefully they're not in too much of a high pressure situation right now, because that is extremely awkward for them. Team number 10.
And remaining from Havu.
Yeah,
he was the one being pinned down in the Harry Potter.
Well, he's been revived now, so all is well. We're now looking at AVANGAR. Didn't do particularly well in the first game. Managed to come back to secure themselves a decent finish in game number 2. They're looking to build on that here in game 3. Still 13 alive. Anything can happen. Taking a couple of shots at a team that are passing by in a vehicle. Looking for the kill. That's JoRoSaR and Riddle Esports. They've been shot at quite a lot. That car is on the verge of exploding. They're going to have to head on out. And as a result, they get tagged multiple times. Drainies and co. Do not make mistakes often. So if you're out in the open, expect to have to use those meds. Jansen!
He's gonna make it. He's got
don't shoot, Jansen. Don't shoot.
But the circle's moving, and he's on the far side. Oh no!
He's fast. He's fast in the circle. He's fast in the circle.
1,000 circles. This is brilliant. Yeah, absolutely.
Jansen, you have won the hearts and minds of everybody watching in chat. And if you're the last person alive in this game, I'm not going to eat my hat, but I will consider doing something equally embarrassing.
look at the beauty of this circle. Meanwhile, Symphonize is good. The beauty of the circle means that Jansen can actually just sit out of the white right now and kind of heal up and take his time going in. But the problem is he's going to be facing Kisse, and G2 as they make their way down. But Redzone, some touch, putting on some pressure. They try to make their way into their circle. Retaliation shot.
Yeah, he's not in the world's greatest amount of cover there, unfortunately. He was just using a little bit of a hill, and he did have a tree nearby, but no solid rocks for him to just sort of peek left or right of or anything like that. So he's taking a little bit of a risk, but the element of surprise was on his side. He managed to get the first couple of shots off. He will consolidate and heal. On the outskirts of prison, we have Team Redzone chilling out right next to Royal Banditos, who have also made those rocks their home. Neither side really wanting to move because it's kind of like an up... You know, it's like an uphill, not too much in the way of death blades or anything. No! Jansen! Don't do it! Also, I might not have to eat my shoe. The helmet's off, but he's still got a hoodie, so he's still protected from the rain. Sadly, not much else, and it looks like the Redzone is about to finish the job. He's actually moving out in the hopes that the Redzone kills him instead of a rival team. And yes, the Playzone gets the credit for the kill.
So that is 7 points robbed. Absolutely robbed that. Meanwhile, Gavrin actually does get taken down. This is a hill warfare right now. OPG pushing around, being aggressive. He's going to actually push up onto them as Redzone try and make their way down the other side of the mountain. But they have to go this way because the circle is that way. And they want the fight, and they are winning the fight.
Again, frags into the smoke for Team Redzone, doing quite a lot of damage as people now start driving cars into the next circle as well. 40 seconds left to go until it closes again. We are currently watching Royal Banditos, who are trying to push in on Redzone here, but now down to 2 members standing. Bit of a tricky sitch for them right now. They have got Redzone sort of pinned down into a little bit of a ditch, and it looks like everything's going to stabilize and people are going to heal up. I think that's going to end up in 3v3.
Jolski, the last remaining member of Havik, gets taken down by Lundy. Just
a little unlucky there, really.
Yeah, it was just good peeking by Lundy there. He just moved around and came up from a different part of the hill. And just completely, I wouldn't say outplayed, but kind of out-mind tricked Jolski there, unfortunately. So there we go. That is Havik Gaming ending up in 12th place in this game. After coming first in game number 2. So yeah, massive drop for them.
The difference in points is going to be absolutely massive there. It actually means that in terms of who scores the most points out of today's 4 games, everything is still wide open. We've had a wide variety of plays, and the pecking order has certainly been mixed up quite a bit. As you watch AVANGAR try to finish off Action is Coming. A couple of trees are getting in the way of doing just that, though. And that is G2, I think, out in 12th place. So elsewhere, they go down.
Stefan is just in the blue right now, and he does heal up.
Oh, pardon me. Yep, 1 left.
Yeah, he's going to wait, and he's got a vehicle, so he's just going to wait for the right time to make his way in. But he does have the whole of Team 16 just looking at him. And AVANGAR, not doing that well today, putting up a train, and they're just going to rush Phantom as they go in. But Drain is taking a lot of hits, and he's going to get taken down, thanks to the communication between GamersOrigin. Good night.
It's you want to make sure that you are covered in case a teammate is coming around to try and flank as soon as your teammate goes down, so that fast play is always possible. Mumino, though, deciding not to do that. He's got a very nice bit on the low ground there, and he's going to be fairly comfortable. No one else is around.
Keen just kind of went up on the high ground and flanked round and killed him. So that's that person dealt with. And the remaining person is Tomshi, who is just across the road. However, you have Team Redzone coming up right behind AVANGAR, so that is a fight that they kind of want to be prepared for.
Oh, and Steven, between a rock and a blue zone, unfortunately. And I think people know that he is still out here. Team 16, Team Random are still looking outwards on the circle. Kisa trying to drop to the ground to make his way back in. The blue is extremely close by. He's chucking a smoke in the hopes that he has enough time to heal up. There's a clear line of sight from Millennium, who all the way back when actually ended up in that big factory. And they are doing extremely well just to sort of sit it out and wait till they get to the final 5 or 6 teams. Outsider in the meantime and Co. There are 3 people left alive on their team, and they're holding a little bit of a walled god compound. And they're going to get the circle as well, so maybe fortune is favoring them at the moment.
Luck of the draw again for them. They don't have to move. They can stay in their position, and that's a really nice, lovely compound to have in the middle, as there's no other cover really, as you can see by Kisse, who is just going to get absolutely obliterated as he stands up. Not a chance in this world or the next for him to make it into that circle, while you've got the might of No Loot Gaming looking at you. And there we go, AVANGAR are ready for Redzone and their push.
Team Redzone spreading out, looking for an opportunity to close in on this position. They're going to be forced to by the red in just a moment. AVANGAR in the meantime. Oh, what a frustrating place to be. Nades coming in now. Redzone have this completely surrounded, trying to go out through the window there. And oh, that was such a cool play, opening the door and then trying to peek the window as well. But that is Keen taken care of, and indeed the rest of AVANGAR going down as well. Great push there from Redzone, and that will earn them that position on the map. And that's important because they are the only people now in this particular corner of the next circle.
That was just amazing precision skill coming out there. And the next person that needs to fight is going to be Tomshi. However, Rishi, you need to get out of the vehicle because it's going down really fast as you go into Millennium holding up this warehouse. Dignitas trying to make their way in, and they're going to have to challenge this. They're going to have to fight for this. And yes, they do. But it's hard to do so as Cycle gets taken down by Uzi.
When you come in and you look for a home in the circle, you look for those buildings and they're already taken. I mean, there are the most entrances and the most ground to cover in the larger buildings, sure, but make no mistake, the defending teams still have the advantage. And as a result, Millennium are still sitting pretty. So you can see Team 4 and Team 9, Millennium and No Loot Gaming, have got the majority of the compounds inside the next circle. And, oh man, Team Random, a little bit rough for them, having to pop the smokes and just kind of stay out in no man's land while they try and not get shot at. Where do they go from here, Talha? Like, if you know the compounds are taken, what do you do?
Well, I think what they're doing is they've got their cars parked. It's not working out for them that much. The smokes are not really helping. In fact, they might be able to get this res off because of the smoke. But what they were trying to do is throw some smokes behind them to get that cover, and then they've got vehicles in front of them with a rock, and they blew up their own vehicle, right? So they were going to make a fortress out of the vehicle, but Fedge is going to just get shot at through that smoke.
And I believe he was the one doing the rezzing as well.
Indeed, indeed. So they were making a fortress out of blown up vehicles because that was the best option that they had in that situation. However, they didn't have enough vehicles to cover their backs because that's where Team Redzone is. And it's going to be Big T going up to Tomshi. He has no idea he's there. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't moved.
And that's rough because they were facing Team Millennium but ended up getting taken out, I think, by No Loot Gaming. So there's only so many directions you can cover at once, right? And you're right, just not having enough vehicles to do that. They might have been looking at one team, but when you've got a second one at 90-degree angles, I would say it's frustrating. There's nothing really they can control. If they stop and they see one team and another one pops up, that's just how the game works sometimes.
It's just, you know, if you want to shoot someone, you've got to shoot them, and you've got to be confident that you can kill them first before anyone else tries to shoot at you. It's about the patience game, right? You start shooting, you give away your position. And everyone knows that you're the one that's shooting, but they don't know who you're shooting at because they're not giving away their, right? So everyone just turns like, right, that's an easy target. But
it might be a game of aim, but it's a game of information as well. So the sooner you give yourself away, the sooner you give everyone else time to get in position and really hit what you do.
Millennium and Dignitas, they're not in a good place because they know they need to fight each other to get into the circle, but you've got Team Random sitting on the outside of them that will fight both of them because they have to, and Liquid's not the best idea right now. He's going to try and get some moving cover, but he does that, he gives away his position to Team Random.
Liquids is going for revenge. He is one person against Millennium. Millennium are not 100% sure there's only one person out here, but he's looking for the fight. He's trying to spot Millennium as they come out. He might be able to. They're tanking the blue now, so a fight has to happen. And there they go in the buggy. One goes down. Liquid's great aim there. And it looks like they're going to be... Oh, no! But Spatch, he goes down as well. Unfortunately, someone completely different took him out.
Yeah, that's Team Random. Team 16, sorry. They were ready for that. They were waiting. And
there goes. They're right out of here.
And it somehow worked. Their little fortress has somehow worked for them. In fact, they're going to stand on the other side now, so they have complete cover. And Tomshi playing the slow game. He is absolutely fine. Let everyone else do the hard work. Liquid's taking some damage from the blue, gets him down really low, and outside is the one to pick him up, and that is Dignitas out of the game as well. And Fedge is just... that's stuck in a rock, between a rock and a hard...
Quite literally, unfortunately. And the other hard play, sadly, is a bullet from a Mini 14. So he's going to get taken out there. Moleman's still alive there, looking for an opportunity to propel Team Random up the leaderboards. So maybe staying in that factory for so long, well, ended up not being good for anyone, right? Millennium and Team Dignitas did a little bit of a mighty showdown, but at the end of the day, they're not really putting themselves in pole position, being outside the top 5 here. What a frag! We're down to our top 3, Talha.
We are. And we've got No Loot Gaming actually pushing in now. They've got one player down, so this is quite even. It's 3 versus 3, but it depends who is Tomshi going to fight for, and he's going to fight with... well, he's going to fight against No Loot Gaming, and he takes 2 of them down, makes it so much easier. Outsider gets taken down.
Right there.
Now it's a 1 versus 3. He's done his job.
Very nicely done. And that means that Team Redzone, they had a great showing last game, and they managed to win game number 3, doing an absolutely beautiful job. I have to say, at the end of the game, Talha, just holding their position there really paid off for them. They knew that everyone else was pushing into them. There was no big fancy play. It was hold your angle, keep watching, be disciplined, get the first shots up.